Yeah, this your boy, Hype Fan Eagle, representing the Philadelphia Eagles by way of New Jersey. You already know, man. Shout out to my first time viewers. Shout out to my last time viewers. Shout out to the people that's viewing this video, whether religiously or in passing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel down below, man. For all my Twitter people, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Hype Fan Eagle 1. For all my YouTube people, subscribe to the Twitter page at Hype Eagle 1. I got my boy Hype Fan Jers right there, you know what I mean? And you can state your handles and everything.
Yeah, you already know, man. Hyphen Jers. You already know you can find me. You can find me at the same spot. This is what you find me at. So follow that Twitter and be posting me and him back to back. So that's where I'm at.
You already know. Shout out to Jers, man. He pretty much held down the full quarter segment for your boy, man. Yo, man. Before we get into anything, man, I just want to say it feels so good to have football Sunday back. Now we don't have to be bored on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? We got something to look forward to. You know what
Yup.
I mean?
Yup.
Saw a lot of good games, man. I saw a lot of good games, man. I saw a lot of teams that were trying to figure out what they're trying to be. You know what I mean? It was a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this going on, and that's rightfully so. It's game number one. You know what I mean? Speaking of sloppy plays, the Philadelphia Eagles did not look good at all. You know what I mean? It was a lot of things going on. Let's start off. We're going to sum it up at the end. Let's start off with the first quarter. The first quarter looked good. It was heavy rain. It was coming down. You know what I mean? It reminded
Yeah.
us of a game that we played last year when we played Jacksonville. You know what I mean? But this time around, we started off pretty good. We saw we before we entered the game, we was trying to figure out who was going to be RB1, and you know what I mean. So we was trying to see if it was going to be Swift, Penny, Gainwell, Boston Scott, whatever the case may be. End up being Kenny Gainwell, and rightfully slow. Rightfully so. So how you feel about that? Him coming out and being RB number one.
I feel like I like that they did that because of he was well deserved for what he did last season, the postseason, the post games, um the playoffs. He did his thing. So and then what I was hearing about him off season of him perfecting his craft and what he's did and everything that they saw him. So I'm like, I'm okay with it. I still feel like I think Swift need to get a little bit more touches. But I was okay that um that they put Kenny Gainwell inside that first. I actually thought it was gonna be Swift that
Yeah,
was gonna
yeah,
be that person
yeah.
that
Me
gonna touch
too.
the ball more.
Yeah,
But I guess they more comfortable and they are more what's the word? I can't say experienced, but they are they know what they see in Kenneth Gainwell because they
yeah,
they work with him more than they work with Swift. So I guess why they went with him more because they already know what he can do and know what he's about.
yeah,
So I was okay with that. I just still think Swift needed to touch it a little bit more though.
yeah. That's a fact. I like what they did with Kenny Gainwell. You know what I mean? He actually ran the ball pretty good. You know what I mean? He really did good. Um, I'm sorry, man. I just gotta talk my shit, man. I can't even hold it no more, man. Yo, the offense looks sloppy. I'm sorry. You can see the difference between Shane Steichen not being there and a Brian Johnson. You know what I'm saying? The takeaway that I do like is the fact that we really pass the ball out the backfield a lot. Did you see?
Yeah.
Did you like that? The fact that we were going to our running backs out the backfield a lot.
I like that, but it's a time of place for it. Like I like that he's starting to do it, but when you dealing with certain formations and dealing with certain defense,
Mm-hmm.
and you see that this type of defense that you are facing, that type of play doesn't fit well with this type of defense,
Yeah,
then I feel like you need to go away from it, from this type of game because I don't to me it wasn't working in this game.
yeah,
I like that they try it out. That give an idea that okay, this in this new on 2023 to 24 season, we're gonna be doing different things, and we're gonna be trying different things and throwing it in the backfield to our running backs and everything. So that's good. But at the same time, I still think that he we did a little bit too much on those in this game that stopped at a lot of drives. Like,
Yeah,
I know you would have to try it to see,
yeah,
but after two times, if it's not working, I feel like you gotta like mix it up, and we should have went a different. I just felt like he should have opened his playbook a little
yeah,
bit
yeah,
more.
yeah. A little
You
bit
know,
more. Yeah, I
like
agree with that. 1,000%. I agree with that. I feel like the first quarter we played pretty well. That second quarter was pretty, but we only had like 19 points for real. You know what I mean? Sorry, not
yeah,
19 points. We had like 20 something yards throughout the whole second quarter as far as offensively. You know what I mean? Like we
yeah.
really couldn't get the ball rolling during the second quarter.
Well, the whole first half, they say we only had 19 yards. We
But the
only had 19 yards. We didn't really we did well the first half, but only because of our defense. It
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah, yeah,
nothing
yeah.
because of the
There wasn't
offense.
nothing really on offense. Yeah, our defense
Yeah,
did good. Darius
yeah,
the pick six. Um, what was it again? Oh, Ezekiel Elliott had a fumble that we
fumble.
picked
Yeah,
up. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
a lot of our points came defensively. Offensively, we pretty much struggled a little bit. I wasn't really impressed with Jalen Hurts' play today. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
it 1,000.
yeah.
It
Word,
wasn't
word,
really
word.
impressive. And that's that goes to show you that preseason is important to a degree.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I know you want to sit your starters out, but they really need some type of playing time, even if they get only 3 reps on the field, and then you want to take them out. Let them get the feeling of what it is. You know what I mean? Like you sitting your starters out for all the preseason, bro. Like you can see the rustiness going on. You know what I mean?
yeah, yup,
It was
yup.
sloppy play from him. I mean, I'm gonna keep it a beat. James Bradbury was getting cooked. He was
Yeah,
out there getting cooked. Like yo,
yeah.
you can
He
see
was struggling.
he
He
was
was
struggling.
struggling.
Like you can see where you can see the deficiencies in our secondary. Like, how do you feel about the defense?
Yeah, the defense. When I made the videos earlier, I was praising the defense.
Yeah,
And Bradbury was getting cooked. He made some key stops. He did. I'm not going to nah, that he made some key stops, but overall, he did. He was struggling. But in the first half, the defense was
yeah,
good.
yeah, 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 yes, yes, yes.
Um,
First half, yes.
Even though the Patriots started to score, I still was giving the defense benefit of doubt, because I'm like, it's so much the defense can do when you constantly making stops for the a stop for the offense to get on the field. You go down and you sit down. The next thing you know, you got to put your helmet back on like right away. You look like after a while it get tiring. Then it's wet out there. So that's making it hard because it's slippery. You trying to move. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of energy consuming.
What you mean? My bad. The death, your brother. I don't get that.
He probably trying to say, is that your brother? I don't know. The,
That
uh,
the
but,
death, your brother. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
but yeah, like, that it's a lot of energy consuming, doing all that. So after a while, the defense keep going back out there. Sooner or later,
Hmm.
they're gonna get scored on. So
Yeah,
sooner or
yeah,
later,
yeah,
it's just gonna
yeah,
bound to happen, because
yeah,
they're not playing with 100% effort, because they don't have that 100% energy keep going
yeah,
back there.
yeah,
So getting to my point, I was giving them a benefit of doubt of that. But when we came back on that second half, and the offense kind of started, they still didn't wasn't doing that much, but we was marching down the field a little
yeah.
bit more.
Hmm.
So the defense was rested enough, especially coming from the after the second half. And then they still was Bradbury was struggling. Our safeties was not no getting scorched, and then the corners is no not the corners a little bit, but mainly the linebackers was getting showed out.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yes,
uh,
yes, yes.
uh,
And the safeties for real. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And the
yeah,
safeties, yeah, yeah,
yeah. So I'm like, yo, I don't, I wasn't so happy. I only on the defensive side that I give okay enough is
Was
the
the
pass
defensive line,
rushing.
right?
Not,
Yep.
and it might look like we not. You might be like, oh, why you give them a rush and we ain't hardly got when he got one sack, about like no altogether like 2 or 3 sacks, I think. But that
Yeah. We got about
the
3 sacks, I
three
believe.
sacks, but they came late and it took
Yeah,
us a minute. But you got to know that only reason why we couldn't get no sacks is because Mac Jones was getting that ball out of his hand quick. And only
yeah.
reason why he was getting it out of quick because our linebackers wasn't there though, is they was getting
Yeah.
open quick.
He started heating up, like he really started heating up in the second half.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So yeah, he was getting rid of that ball. You know what I mean? Like you said, our linebackers. I think if there was an injury to N'Kobe Dean, they said.
dang, yup,
You
yup,
know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
Chris Ellis had to come in and fill in that spot. You know, just to repeat what you said, I give the defensive line credit because that pass rush was crazy. You know what I mean? I ain't tripping. It's the first game, but God, Brian Johnson was sus. But I give him a pass. Yeah, yeah, like it's the first game. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you pretty
yeah,
much gotta, take everything with a grain of salt. But it just looks sloppy. Like I said, if I want to give a letter grade to Jalen Hurts, I give him like a C. You know what I mean? He was okay. I give Smitty was balling. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He only had listen. This is the stats right here. You know what I mean? That's the stats right there. So when you look
yeah,
at Jalen Hurts, he was 22 for 33, 170 passing yards, one passing touchdown. Kenneth Gainwell 14 for 54. Jalen Hurts 9 for 37. To everybody else, DeAndre Swift only had one carry. Only one carry for what?
yeah. That's
What
why
now? Boston
that's
Scott carry.
That's why I was saying I wanted him to get more touches, and that's what. But that you know what it is, they went away from the running. We stopped running that ball, and
Yeah,
they went away from the running and everything. So that's the reason why he hardly got that much of a carries and everything. But
yeah,
I'm a little surprised that you gave Hurts a C because to be honest, I give him a D. Like if I want to average, and it's only because of multiple reasons. And I know it's Russ. I'm not gonna say that's gonna last. I'm pretty sure that rust gonna come out and that grade will go up. But as this for now, as this game, I gave him a D just because of multiple things. One, because the fumble, even though that could happen anything, but it did happen.
yeah,
The fumble, and then he wasn't reading. Like his him reading his receivers and reading the plays was kind of off. Like
yeah.
he it was players
That was
that was
open.
more better open, that his
Yeah,
decision making,
yeah,
like he was choosing the wrong players to throw it to instead of just doing his check downs like
yeah,
he did all last season. That's what he did. He went through his progressions and did his check downs. This game he went away from that. He wasn't doing his check downs. He was just passing to the wrong players and making the wrong decisions, and that's what made it more hard. And
yeah.
I saw a lot of that, and then I just saw a lot of
And then with
him
that
not just.
fumble, bro, like that could have cost us the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Yo, if that would have cost us the game, I would have tweeted like, yo, oh my gosh, now they gonna harp on that again, just like the Super Bowl, just like the Super Bowl loss when he fumbled or whatever. I
yeah.
would have like, look, Hurts fumbling, like we would have had to hear that the whole week if we would have lost because of that fumble. I think we forget, and we was against the Bills defense is always tough. I think we forgetting we was against Bills defense.
Talking about Bill's Belichick, but I mean, like, I get
Against
that,
Bill.
but
My bad, not the Bills. Bill defense is always tough.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, I get that, but at the same time, if Bill defense is giving us, it wasn't like he wasn't get that defense wasn't giving us anything. It was giving us a lot of openings. And
Mm-hmm.
when you plan Bill defense, if he giving you openings and giving you opportunities and you don't take it because you didn't do your progressions and your checkdowns right,
Yeah,
that's an issue. You
yeah,
know, it
yeah.
was a lot of it was a lot of plays that we left off on the field. No matter if it's
Mm-hmm.
Bill or whatever, we still left them off.
A
Like,
lot.
and that's
Yeah,
got that gotta be fixed, and that's gotta be. And we look, like we said, we understand it's the first game, but doesn't take that. It needs to be fixed. Like, and and that's
the
how I
offensive
took it.
line wasn't definitely good. I feel like this
Yep,
game right
yep. That's
here.
another thing. Yep.
Yeah. This game right here. is perfect for, okay, we're going to take this game, we're going to see where we're lacking at and see where we're messing up at, and we're going to build from there. You know what I mean? Because we got the talent, we got the pieces, but like you said, this is one of those games where this is a tape game. Okay,
Yeah,
cool. We got the tape now, and we see where we went wrong, and we're going to get ready for Thursday night versus the Minnesota Vikings. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the offensive line wasn't good. You know, Hurts wasn't good. Our secondary wasn't good. You know what I mean? Just too many opportunities, and they was killing us on them swing routes. They was
Yeah, they
killing us on them
was.
swing
They
routes.
was they was ripping us in the swing routes, and
Yeah,
that's because our linebackers couldn't get over. You know, they couldn't just
couldn't get
they
over.
couldn't get over there. Like, you know, and that's what made it. But our offense, I'm glad you put it out for. I forgot our offensive line looked very different this year. Like our offense, and that
So far, yes.
yeah, look like and that can't kind of mess up a lot of other plays too because when Hurts had to roll out to avoid pressure, he
Jordan
couldn't
Mailata
see.
holding. Yeah,
Yeah, and then he couldn't see the other. He couldn't see the receivers that's open on the other side because he had to roll out a different way. So that stopped a lot of opportunities too because of the pressure, that we were receiving because the block it wasn't our block, especially at the edge, like the corners, the end blockers, like they I don't know what was going on, like but it just a lot of stuff just need to be worked out, and I feel like it would though. I just feel like
yeah,
it
yeah.
will, but just time.
Okay, so what's some of the positive that you take away from this game? What's some of the positives?
The positive was, if we want to speak about positive, then positive. I had to just single out players. That's the only thing I could say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I could say I like what I saw in Jada Carter.
yeah.
I like that.
Oh
He
wait,
was.
time out. Before you go on, did Nolan Smith play or he didn't?
Yo, that's a good question. I didn't hear
Yeah,
his name called not one time through the whole
his
game.
number or his name. Yeah, yeah. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I don't
Yeah, I feel the same
about
way. I don't have much positive, but that's what I said. If you only when you speak about certain players, I could say because I like what I saw in Jaden Carter. Jaden Carter, he came out and he was putting pressure on Mac Jones, like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
he was. Yeah.
yeah, so I like what I saw in him. I like what I
Josh
saw.
Sweat.
I like. I'm about to say Sweat. I like
Yeah.
Sidney Brown. Sidney
Sidney
Brown made
Brown.
made some good key this and that. So that's basically where that stopped. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's the only positive
Um,
I can say.
Devontae Smith too. I mean,
Oh well, that's
yeah.
yeah. That's overall Javante. Like they couldn't really AJ Brown and Devontae Smith can't really get with it going because of the pass the what's the way I'm looking for the playbook
Yeah.
what I'm trying to
I,
say the play
I get
calling
I get what you're saying.
yeah, the play calling. So it was just a lot of that. Like Dallas Goddard was not
He
thrown
ain't
to
get no
not one time.
receptions. He's 0 for 0 for 0 for one target. No receptions.
That
Nothing.
that's crazy. Yo,
Nothing
what
at all.
I want to throw this out. I want to throw this little thing out for one thing. That boy Slay. I wish they on practice time when it's practice, please make him practice with receivers. Make this nigga practice with receivers. I swear, yo. He don't get me wrong. He break up plays.
Yeah.
He stops a lot of times. He be on it, but his catching, my nigga, like he be, yo, excuse me for saying nigga, but yo, he be missing a lot of interceptions,
He
yo.
do. He
That
do. He
drive that we
do.
had an interception, we could have stopped them from driving. He would have caught it. I'm like, oh, catch the ball, but I know he's not a receiver, but you got to get your hands, Slay. Like, you gotta catch them balls. Like, I just want to throw that. I just want to throw that out there.
This was giving me gain and PTSD, bro. Yo, yo. To be honest, bro, like yo, if before we get up out of here, bro, yo, by week 5, if we don't get this defense together, but put it like this, bro. This game was too close to my liking. Now I understand that Bill Belichick had have a defense, but that's what I exactly said. During this whole offseason, I said, listen, everybody want to get the hype about the defense. Oh, we got Jalen Carter, we got Nolan Smith. I'm not worried about the defense, yada yada yada. I said, yo, on paper the defense look good, but they gotta play.
Play,
They
yeah,
gotta
exactly.
play. You know what I'm
They
saying? We
gotta
got a
show
lot
it.
of new cats on the defensive side, and a lot of them was out of sync a lot of times. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Yep.
we just, you know what I mean? Hopefully, you know what I mean? We got to get it together. I mean, we pretty much got a turnaround game on Thursday versus Minnesota. We're gonna see how that go down. I can't wait. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like a prime time game. But overall, man, if I want to give an overall grade for the overall team, man, to be honest, like this is my opinion, a C minus or a regular C. I can't give it.
Yeah, I give it the same. I give it the same.
You know what I'm
Like C
saying?
minus is a regular C. I give it the same way.
Word,
Like,
word. So, y'all, this is the Raw recap after the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Patriots. We won 25-20. Stay tuned for our next videos, our next individual videos on a real recap. You know what I mean? We might come together or we might just do it individually. You know what I mean? So, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We about to catch this Cowboys game, Cowboys and Giants, because that is a big division game right now. I'm about to go, you know what I mean? Smoking three, you know what I mean? Get right.
yeah, you already know.
Yes, yes, and then just go watch the game, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening to Hype Fan Jers. Thank y'all for listening to Hype Fan Eagle, man. You already know, man. We appreciate y'all and thank you, man. Gang, 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 gang. We out of here.
Third game.